numbers come from here. America has the IMF and the World Bank. They say Sierra Leone, although they have the wealth there, their dollar should be worth nothing compared to U.S. The IMF and the World Bank are the ones that dictate the dollar for every country. Then they say, we're going to give Sierra Leone $2 million every year for foreign aid. But wait a minute. You just took diamonds from us and gold, and you're going to give us this little measly $2 million? You stole trillions from us. So when it says no man might buy or sell, it's talking about trade, like Wall Street, what is it called? The New York Stock Exchange. Go ahead.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
You have to be following America's policies along with Europe in order to get into that system. We're not in. Okay. Thessalonians is saying the same thing that Revelation 13. What is the mark of the beast? Because if you take the mark, you're going to go into eternal damnation. Second Thessalonians explaining to you a little more easier. Read that again, Yuri.
And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness.
So this man would deceive us with sin. Go ahead.
In them that perish.
In them destined to perish.
Because they receive not the love of the truth.
Because you receive not God's laws and commandments. Go ahead.
That they might be saved.
That you might be saved, brothers. That you might be saved, sisters. Come on.
And for this cause.
And for this reason, because you reject the commandments,
God shall send them strong delusion.
You're going to believe everything this white man tells you. Go ahead.
That they should believe a lie.
You're going to believe every lie he's told you.
That they all might be damned.
Be what?
Be damned.
Be what?
Be damned.
That's eternal damnation. That's the lake of fire. Go ahead.
Who believe not the truth.
Because you didn't want to keep God's laws, his commandments. Your fate is...
Shalom, shalom, akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakah Kwadash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which would be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to get into a brief lesson. All right, speaking on the current breakdown of the IUIC's doctrine regarding Revelations 13 and 16. And yeah, man, as we know, Bishop Nathaniel, he changes like the wind. All right, when it comes to this Revelations 13-16 breakdown, where we can clearly see, all right, that this man is bought and paid for. As far as his living conditions, he's well established. He's a millionaire. Okay, this man's clearly in his rest. All right, he's received his constellation. And at the end of the day, this man's being used to mislead a lot of you Israelites. All right, we understand prophetically that, the majority of you, Jake, 2/3 of you pursuing the Zechariah 13 and 8 are going to be cut off. So there's wicked pastors like this man, that are necessary to lead you astray, man. Okay, because if you can't see that this dude and the dudes that are joined unto him are completely wolves in sheep's clothing, then you're clearly deceived. Okay, you're clearly deceived, man. All right, because this man went from saying that the MOTB, right, the mark spoken of in Revelation 13:16, it was they were saying it was an embargo. Okay, they were saying that it was the image of Caesar Borgia. They was now as of late they're saying it's sin, and now they're standing on it being a digital currency, man. which is the truth of the matter, as far as it being that device. Okay? The size of a grain of rice, man. That's going to be put inside you, whether your hand or your forehead. Now, we know the head's talking to the Neuralink, and if it's put in your hand or whatnot, it's going into that device the size of a grain of rice. But either way, all right, that's the way the MOTB is going to be executed. All right, through this man Esau's technology being put inside you, him putting that idol in you. Okay, this thing is subdermal. Right? Under, dermal, skin. It's in the skin. It's going to go in your body. All right? It has nothing to do with sin. All right? As far as it being sin, which would lead you to that missile hitting you in the head. Okay? Pursuant to Revelations 14. You see? Now it's a sin to take it. You see? You're gonna be bound to an idol. You're gonna say as an Israelite, you're going to say Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is not your power. All right? And you're going to be ultimately choosing evil E, this beast system, his image, and his name's going to be on you. All right? If you receive this device. Okay? But needless to say, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, just wanted to bring this out real quick. Speaking on the double-minded men over at the IUIC, starting with Bishop Nathaniel, man. Okay, and understand, man, you're going to be beaten with many stripes. You're living it up now. You got a couple of houses, cars. You're traveling like nobody's business. Okay, you're receiving the dainties, which are really the crumbs off of the king's table. All right, being that you're joined at the hip with Esau, but you're going to lose at the end. Okay, though hand joined in hand, the wicked will not go unpunished, man. You're going to lose, man. And the phone chimed in, man, and it would be a beloved brother. You're going to lose. Okay? And everyone joined unto you, you're going to lose right along with you. Okay? Because if the blind lead the blind, they should both end up falling into a ditch. All right? And that's point blank, period, man. Now, I got this clip by the beloved brother, the beloved priest Sha'ar from the GMS Dallas camp. I highly recommend you, Akim and Akwa, to subscribe to this brother's channel. This brother's highly edifying. And the Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is definitely dealing with this beloved brother. And I'm going to utilize his clip. He posted up, actually a couple hours ago. He posted his lesson. And pretty much, it's coming from the horse's mouth. All right, because, one of I forgot dude's name. There's a recent video of, I forgot his name. He's bringing forth the fact that the mark is digital. It's a digital device. But now right here, you're going to hear it from the horse's mouth himself. Okay? He's going to mention it regarding it being digital. But he switches up though. These are two separate videos from two separate times. But you're going to see him switch up. All right? Showing you that this dude's double-minded, man. All right? Now, check this out real quick. Matter of fact, let's just play this clip and then we'll go into it.
To receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
It's the same mark Babylon got, the mother of harlots, which is abomination, sin. That's what it's talking about. But how could they force us to take part in this sin willingly? How? Watch the next verse.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark.
Save he that had sin.
Or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Now, what would they do to force us? Watch this. It said that no man might, y'all see that? Buy or sell. That's talking about economics, okay? They're going to use the monetary system to try to force us to reject the word of God. Watch this. Give me the clip I sent y'all on Nigeria. Watch this. Now, I found this video. It's a sodomite talking. I apologize.
Poor, free in bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
So that mark is sin. Go ahead. How are they going to enforce that? Go ahead.
And that no man might buy or sell.
So they're going to use a digital currency, buying and selling. That's how they're going to force people to break God's laws. Read that again, verse 17.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark.
Like in Uganda. Uganda said, we don't accept LGBT. They said, you cannot buy or sell. Y'all see it in the news. That's on a major level.
but they're going to start doing it with every so-called citizen or denizen in America as well. Read it.
Right, that's what the digital ID is about. All of that is to all your information gonna be there. So all you gotta do is press one button and shut down everything. Your bank, your school loans, everything. Or everything. You can't buy none.
17 again.
And that no man might buy or sell.
And that's the dude right there that was just talking to actually the current video that's out. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try to see if I can find that video. But let's keep playing.
If he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
So you gotta accept sin, okay? And they can control everything. Once they make their finances digital, they can control what you eat as well. Let's say you want to buy some lamb. They say, nope, this money you can only use it for GMOs. Once it's federal, they can control everything. And if they see you teaching the street, they're gonna shut him down. He's breaking the law. Shut him down. Boop. That's what they do, and they're gonna try to use that to force us to break God's commandments. But it might work on some of y'all, but it ain't gonna work on the rest of us.
So you see, they're standing on sin. They're standing on the mark being sin, but they're trying to weasel in. It's the technological standpoint, right, of the MOTB, right? But they're still standing on it being sin. You're going to be transgressing. You're going to be sinning. Okay? Now, that doesn't make any sense. Because like the beloved priest Sha'ar said in his lesson, what sin? Be specific on what sin it is, okay, that's going to count us worthy to be destroyed the way we're going to be destroyed pursuant to Revelation 14, if it's sin. Okay? That doesn't make sense. All right? It clearly doesn't make sense. Okay? And it's really obvious the breakdown that they're coming with. It's a farce, but look how they're standing now. Bear with me. All right, I found it. Salakiaki Amenakwad. I had to find one of the clips. One of them was echoing, but I got this from the beloved brother out of Mississippi. I'm sorry, not Mississippi, Birmingham, Alabama. This beloved brother, GMS Saint to the Most High. Subscribe to this brother's channel as well. This brother be going in. All right. Now, real quick, listen to this, right? This is as of late.
Okay, and they will try to bring in a new form of digital world currency. America will do that to reinforce world dominancy economically. America will do that. You know, they will collapse everybody money all over the world. You feel me? Do you know that China and a lot of these nations hold U.S. bonds, which is basically U.S. debt? Now, if they get rid of the U.S. debt, guess what's going to happen to the U.S. dollar? It's going to tank. The U.S. dollar going to tank. And guess what? America going to do what America do. America is the oppressor. They going to do what they going to do. The whole economy collapse, then they come up with a new solution. And guess what? Let all nations know, listen, this is the new form of trading worldwide. And make sure all your citizens have a digital ID and all their information is on that digital ID, their bank account and all of these things. Y'all understand? That's the level it's going to come to. It ain't there fully as yet, but that's the level it's going to come to. The mark of the beast.
Whoa, wait a minute. All right, were they not just saying that the MOTB was sin? And now it's a digital ID, which you see they're dancing around the idea that it's that MOTB that mark the device the size of a grain of rice. They're dancing around it. They're not coming all the way home with it. Okay, but you can clearly see their breakdown is leading there, because they have no choice but to go there with it because it's too obvious. Okay, it's being plastered all over mainstream. All right, it's already being done in Switzerland somewhere at an alarming rate. Okay, you can't run around the fact that this is the reality of Revelations 13:16. All right, and these men are obvious, man. They're in a position now where they're land grabbing. All right, getting all types of donations, making merchandise of this truth, man. All right, the scriptures say, "Buy the truth and sell it not." All right, you men are operating in a carnal, reprobate manner. Okay, and y'all some hustlers, man. Let's go ahead real quick. And Salakia for the long intro before bringing a precept out. I usually like to bring a precept out, couple precepts first, but it was all through the Spirit. Let's go ahead. Let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians, the 2nd chapter. See, the true men of the Lord don't operate like these dudes. Okay? All right, breakdowns are not going to be flipped and bounced and changed up unless prophecy calls for that. Where, again, listen, knowledge shall increase, as it tells us in Daniel 12. All right, so there's going to be certain times where a certain breakdown may not have been accurate. All right, but they're still going to the point. All right, the elders and apostles are not going to say, oh, for instance, let me give you an example. They've been teaching that the MOTBs, the device the size of a grain of rice, they're not going to go from that, all right, to it being something totally different. You see? That's the point. And this is what they're doing. They're taking an end time prophecy, one of the most important ones, okay, and changing it up constantly, showing you that they're starting with Bishop Nathaniel, that they're not doing this in sincerity, man. You see, there's some scoundrels. Let's get this right here, straight to the point. The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 17. Matter of fact, let me get this in the NLT. The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 2, and it reads, Salakia, the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 17, and it reads, you see, we are not like the many hucksters who preach for personal profit. Okay, and these dudes are some hucksters. When you get this word huckster, all right, let's get the etymology of the word huckster. Under a noun, it says what? A petty merchant. Okay, a peddler. Okay, look. So it goes into like a salesman. Now watch this. Hey, and they're making merchandise of the word. You go on their lives or whatever, and you're seeing nothing but donations and them asking for donations, giving you a link to send donations. You okay? This is what they're all about. It's a money grab. And now they're trying to get into establishing land. And that's in vain. That goes to show you that they truly don't believe end time prophecy regarding Yahweh Shai coming back and doing what he said he was going to do to Babylon the Great. You see, these men are settled on their lees. They don't believe Yahweh Shai is coming back in their lifetime. These are the same niggas you will talk to in your family regarding the truth. And what will they tell you? That's not going to happen in our lifetime. It's probably going to happen, but not until about maybe 1,000 years from now. Thousands of years from now. That's what they think. That's what they say. That's what they're assuming. Okay? Their calculations are because ultimately Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai wants to catch them slipping. Remember, the Lord's coming like a thief in the night. Okay? So to the masses, they're going to be blindfolded to the idea of how close Yahweh Shai truly is. Here it is, Yahweh Shai's at the back door, about to slip in. Okay, and you got Jake in the kitchen, back turned, seasoning some chicken, man. Okay, about to get done in. Look it, let's continue on. Huckster, right? Peddler, right? To peddle, right? Feminine English, but not in Low German. Specific sense, advertising salesman. Okay, and this is what these niggas are doing. This is what they advertise the word, man. Okay, they're all about the monetary gain. Okay, these niggas have waxing fat and they're shining. Okay, these wicked niggas, right? It's from 1946 novel. So yeah, hey, advertising salesman, man. Hey, again, I quoted earlier. The scripture says what? Buy the truth and sell it not. And they're doing the complete contrary, man. Showing you that these men have not been sent by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Let's go back to that precept. Let's continue on. 2 Corinthians 2:17, and it reads, you see, we are not like the many hucksters who preach for personal profit, man. Okay, and this is what, and Owen chimed in, man. And this is what these niggas do. As a matter of fact, another precept just came to mind. Let's go ahead. Yuaki, I'm the one. I'm going the book of Titus. But they will be stopped, though. The book of Titus, chapter 1 and verse 10, and it reads, for there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision. Okay, deceivers and vain talkers. These men over at the IUIC, completely lying to their congregation, man. All right, staring them astray. Why though? Whose mouths must be stopped, and they will be, right? Who subvert whole houses, man. All right, when that word subvert means to overthrow. And how are they overthrowing whole houses? By teaching the false doctrine they're teaching. Okay? Teaching things which they ought not, see? For what though? For filthy lucre sake. For filthy lucre. For the money. All right, these are some hucksters, man. These are some hucksters, man. They're doing it for profit, to fill their belly. This is why they're dancing around the true narrative of this end time prophecy in Revelations 13 and 16. But they're going to be in a position where they're going to have no choice but to tell the truth. Let's continue on. 2 Corinthians 2 and 17. You see, we are not like the many hucksters who preach for personal profit. We preach the word of power with sincerity and with Mashiach's authority, man. Knowing that power is watching us. You see, the true men of the Lord have been sent. All right, the true men of the Lord come in the authority of Yahweh Shai. And how do you know? Their testimony, man. Their testimony stands true. And it's cohesive with the prophecies in the Bible, man. It makes sense. You see? Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua has not sent these men. Let's go here. The book of Matthew. No, not Matthew. Salakia. Jeremiah. Chapter 23. Let's start from verse 1 and we'll jump down. Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 1, and it reads, woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord Yahweh. So there's a penalty, okay, for pushing false doctrine, man. Remember, right? What's that? Ezekiel 14 goes into it, man. If a prophet be deceived when he have spoken a thing, I, the Lord, have deceived that prophet and will destroy him from the midst of the congregation, man. You see? Look it. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them right. You have not visited them with the truth. Okay? You're visiting them with lies and deceit, guile. Right? Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing, saith the Lord Yahweh. You see, there's a repercussion for what these men are doing. Hey, and the Lord's going to make it public. I'm jumping down to verse 21, and it reads, I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. And the proof is in the pudding. Okay, because here it is. They went to Kenya, and what happened? They got smoke bombed and tear gassed off the block. Okay, and they found themselves running. Okay, and here it is. They keep flipping and bouncing. Revelations 13 and 16, showing you that Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai is not giving them the divine communication necessary for them to speak his oracles, man. Okay, they are not the men of the Lord, and it's clear to see. Let's get 22. Jeremiah 23 and 22, right? And it reads, but if they had stood in my counsel and had caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned from their evil way and from the evil of their doings, man. And you see nothing but reprobates wiggling all around the IUIC. Okay? I mean, there's things we can talk about that all right, they're guilty of, man. Okay, from men. All right, talking about shalom. All right, to the next moment going into the bathroom, the same man that they said shalom to. All right, they're sending penis pics to that old boy's wife with the fringes on. Move the fringes off to the side. All right, to send the penis pic to old boy. He just said shalom to his wife, man. And there's so much more. I'm not even gonna waste my energy on it. Okay. These men are completely off. Okay, the leadership on down. And if you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans had any sense, all right, that are subscribed to the IUIC, you will run away fast, man. Hey, and don't come over here. Okay, don't come over here. Okay, learn the truth from the true men of the Lord. Okay, and do the work. You see, learn the truth by the true men of the Lord, which will be the elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down, and do the work. You see? Hey, you're running out of time, man. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is making it plain upon tables, all right, that he's about to take that one last proverbial swing on you Israelites, man. And if you're not found in good standards with the Lord through the Spirit, okay, if you have not been able to understand the error in your ways and correct them, if you have not been able to see the error in your leader and remove yourself from them and their doctrine, you're going to get caught up. You're going to get caught up, and we all need mercy, okay? But understand, this is mercy. All right, brothers taking time out of their day to do a lesson, okay? Telling you, warning you, showing you, okay, how your leadership is completely reprobate. Okay, and if you don't remove yourself from that reprobate leadership, you're going to be caught up with that reprobate leadership, man. All right, look what happened to Chief High Priest Al-Azhar. Let him be an example, man. Hey, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Lord willing, you Akiyam and Akwat will edify. Shalom.